Yeah, there's a lot of police inaction. The security agencies don't appear to act on all this. So we are left to throw a blame. It's now a blame game. Okay, who is in charge? Who did this? Whose goons were they? But the trend is growing. A trend has emerged that goons are now here with us and police will do nothing about it. On page 7 of the Daily Nation, they talk about Linda Mwananchi, how we intend to deal with goons and intimidation. They've listed some ideas here that, well, they're saying they're going to intensify court action, pressure on security agencies, civil disobedience, and pushing for greater mobilization of civil society and the media. But there's one that they're not talking about, that silently political opponents across the country are feeling the need or necessity to have a group around them for their own personal protection. And we are wondering what would be the net effect of each aspirant or candidate doing that across the country.
Thank you very much, Fred, and my apologies for coming in a bit late. First of all, what happened in Homa Bay is extremely detestable and is the kind of politics that we should never degenerate to. It's even more bizarre that the people who are most affected in Homa Bay were actually young people, both from the ones who were from the goon side, even the ones who lost their lives and the ones who got injured and the ones who got arrested were actually young people. And the ones now from even the political side, yeah, most of the politicians who are healthy enough to give press conferences are the older folks. The ones that are being talked about, the ones who their lives were at the extreme age of danger, were actually young people. I saw, I've seen and talked to some of them who are there, and I agree that when you listen to their experiences, they are quite horrific. But one thing we cannot be able to do is let these conversations be taken away by politicians, because politicians will always have a conversation in a manner that favors their politics. Mm-hmm. When politicians tell you about a problem, they must come out as the ones who are the victims. And that's why I've kept saying that we cannot leave such security matters to politicians. Because when Linda Mwananchi or DCP or opposition talks about this case, government must look bad. And the ones on the other side as well, when they also respond, the other side must look bad. So them, they will simply be playing political cards and political expediency. But two people, in my view, are supposed to really hold the cornerstone of this conversation. And the first person is we, the Kenyan people. Because when politicians have to mobilize people, they are not mobilizing Rwandese or Americans or Ugandans. They are mobilizing us, the Kenyan people. So when we first of all test ourselves that will not go this direction of politics, first of all, there will be nobody for the politicians to mobilize from either side. So we, the Kenyan people, must come out and want to do politics differently. Because those people in Homa Bay who are hurling stones against each other, there is more likelihood that maybe even all of them are just from the same place, or even just from, they're just neighbors, the same that was happening in Olkalau. So for me, first of all, it's about the people, that we must be able to refuse this, and we must refuse to be whipped by politicians, because politicians will only whip emotions.
Allow me to ask you this, because you've said that politicians make each other look bad, and opposition politicians will always want to make the government side look bad.
Yeah.
But in this instance, did you expect any action from the security agency?
And that's actually where I was going, Fred.
Yes.
That's why I said two people. I say, one, the people ourselves. We must be able to raise the bar of our politics. And the second person that we must never let go off the hook when we are coming to issues of security is the security apparatus. Because they are the ones with the mandate of the people and the finance of the taxpayer to actually take care of the security infrastructure. And one of the things they cannot be able to come and tell us is excuses such as they said, the opposition people said the police should not be seen there. Because politicians have said, will always tell you the political things. That's why a few days to the rally, they will tell you we are aware of what is happening and we are warning the police not to come. That's what they will say. They said it here in Kikuyu during a DCP rally. Linda Mwananchi said it when they were going to Homa Bay. But that cannot be an excuse. At the end of the day, you have a cardinal responsibility as security agencies to protect the Kenyan people. And as it stands now, for me, it should not be large about how politicians are throwing jibes of blame from each other and at each other. It should be more about what is the security agency giving us a stock of what happened. They should be the ones telling us how many people have been arrested, why they have been arrested, and how we are going forward. Otherwise, when you reduce it into political banter, we'll again have this conversation next week, and the same conversation the following week, and the other conversation the following week. So for me, it is about, can they be able to be held to account? Can they be able to tell us exactly, with the instruments that they have, what exactly did they in fact do before this happened? Because they have intelligence.
Does it disturb you that 2-3 days later, the CS in charge of Interior is yet to say anything?
It does.
The PS in charge of Interior, who had assured these people of safety, is yet to speak about this.
It does. And not
the
just
IG of police has remained silent.
And that is true. And I like the addition of the IG, because remember, we have kept trying to ensure that our constitution is upheld. And the IG has, we have kept calling it an independent institution. He has a mandate. So these people who are in charge of security, none of them stands to be excused. They must be able to, that's why I tell you, Fred, we can't let the country be governed by political theatrics and politicians throwing jibes at each other when you have institutions that we have mandated to take care of these. So the institutions must actually give Kenyans answers. But if we leave it to politicians, it will be politician A versus politician B. That's why you've always seen it even in cases of hate speech, for instance. When hate speech is on our side, it was misunderstood. If it's on the other side, it is dangerous for country. And that is the political banter that exists in this country. So institutions must act because we gave them a mandate to act.
Okay. Talking about institutions, one of them is the NCIC. It has already